Is it possible to stop the Con-Human Violence Organization, which joined forces with human clones? Wave Rider. Cybernetics Link. Ray Crisis.
forward on the network activation. Connect to Self-Mars.
新たな生命と呼べるのか。
A new life creation.
我々は排除されるべき存在なのか。
The humans who are
運命に逆らう人類はその答えを最後の作戦に託す。
resulting in Operation Ray Force.
Yeah.